Condemning the ruling of a federal judge to stop immigration arrests in the state, and the Trump administration giving, quote, total authorization for ICE officers to defend and protect themselves following these clashes. Joining me now is GOP political strategist Alex Zdan and Trip Yang, a Democratic strategist. These gentlemen are here to help me break all of this down. Alex, first, I'm just going to start with you. Your reaction when you see those raids, because you understand exactly what's happening there.
When I look at that and I see the video of an individual firing a gun at ICE agents,
I want to pull up this video so that people know what you're talking about there, because we're saying it looks like a gun. I wasn't on the ground, but we're definitely calling. Let's show this video that we're talking about. You see this happening on the ground and you think what?
I think it's an aggressive act. I think that those law enforcement officers need to defend themselves, and they're out there executing lawful, legitimate law enforcement operations. And the people who are protesting, they've got a right to protest, but they're acting like this is somehow illegitimate. They are out there doing their job. These law enforcement officers need to be protected, and the full force of the law needs to be brought down on anyone who impedes what they're doing.
And we don't disagree with that at all. I think that, Trip, the argument that many are making, though, is that these tactics seem to be super aggressive.
To be clear, no one on the Democratic side is condoning aggressive protests that threaten the security and safety of anyone, right? That rightfully has to be condemned. But that's not what we're necessarily seeing. There's an immense amount of overreach and aggression by the Trump administration. Look, sometimes this is a distraction from Donald Trump's one big, ugly bill. He chooses to boost up funding for ICE and to continue to boost up funding for ICE raids as breaking up families. And you know, by extension, defunding Medicaid, Medicare, as well as hundreds of thousands of energy and manufacturing jobs. Look, Donald Trump ran on affordability and lowering costs for American families. There's nothing in Donald Trump's one big ugly bill that really does that.
And Alec going after the worst of the worst.
He also ran on immigration enforcement as well. He ran on finishing the wall. He ran on making sure America is safe and secure. So this is obviously part of that. I'm old enough to remember when Democrats made us believe that Los Angeles, the demonstrations, the crackdown there, were a distraction from what was going on in Congress. Which one is it? Just make up your mind what we're supposed to be distracted about. This is enforcing the law. And if you don't like it, you can say something about it, but you cannot get in the way of those law enforcement officers, because they are doing the job that they were hired for, and they are operating within the law.
No one's actually, once again, no one is actually supporting when individual protesters choose to be violent. What's very clear is that federal law enforcement has to work with the mayor, has to work with the governor, has to work with local law enforcement in order to allow safe demonstrations. That is a fundamental free American right. What Donald Trump is doing is, once again, overreach and overstepping with federal law enforcement in these situations.
I mean, they actually don't have to when those mayors are being obstructionist.
Alex, should Republicans, though, find a way to work along with communities and immigration authorities or immigration organizations to find a way to do this where it does not disrupt communities?
Well, they do. I mean, their local law enforcement is typically on the ground when they're not restrained by the mayors and the elected officials alongside those ICE agents. The local knowledge of local law enforcement is vital to making sure that these agents go to the right place and detain the right people, and I think that cooperation is going on right now. Obviously, I welcome more of it.
And Treb, we're seeing things where agents are covering their faces, hiding their name badges, their IDs, making many in the community uncomfortable.
It is astounding to me the chaos and confusion in Donald Trump's second term. He's been in office for less than 6 months now. Right now, they have been arresting, locking up many, not just protesters, but also local elected officials. Right here in New York City, our New York City, Brad Lander, he was escorting someone who had an immigrant court proceeding, and ICE agents very forcefully and violently locked him up. Thankfully, he's a citywide elected official. The governor of New York intervened, but a lot of times that is not what's happening. There's an overuse of force here.
But right now, Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem is speaking at turning